What up, guys? This is Tiggy Maximus. This is episode 222 of the Tiggy Maximus Talks on Spotify and YouTube. Making my grand return. You guys might have forgotten about me, or you're just waiting for me to come back on again. Got a lot to talk about on this episode of Tiggy Maximus. I'm going to talk about a few performances, one intimate concert, one comedy show at the Yellowdoor, and one comedy show out in Escondido Winery at the Cordiano Winery. So, oh yeah, Lakers, LA Kings. Let's fit in some WrestleMania too. WrestleMania 41. So let's get into it, guys. So let's start off with my Los Angeles Lakers. They were the number 3 seed in the Western Conference playoff bracket of the NBA playoffs. They were paired up with the number 6 seed Minnesota Timberwolves. And, well, that series did not go as I had expected, but Minnesota Timberwolves, I'll give them a lot of credit. They are a very stacked team. If I remember correctly, I think the Lakers were 50-32 and the Minnesota Timberwolves were 49-33, even though their seeding was only apart by 3. But they were just one game different from each other. So the Wild Wild West, any of those teams could come out as the winner. Although I would say that the number 1 seed Oklahoma City Thunder probably is going to surpass all these West teams. I mean, I think they finished better than the number 2 team, actually, the Houston Rockets, by like at least 10 games, if not like 12, maybe 14 games. Finished better. I mean, I'm probably thinking it's probably 16, actually. 16 game difference between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets, and then the Los Angeles Lakers. Big gap. And, well, for one thing, the Thunder do have, what's his name? SGA. Is it Shea Gillis Alexander? Is it? The free throw merchant, as some may call him. Well, they actually swept the number 8 seed, Memphis Grizzlies. Well, I mean, the only time the Memphis Grizzlies actually won a playoff game, supposedly, is that they won one of the 2 playing games. They lost to the Golden State Warriors, who won the 7 seed play-in. So the Warriors get the 7 seed, and they get to play the Houston Rockets, who, by the way, the Warriors are up 3-2 in that best of 7 series. And then the Grizzlies had to beat the Dallas Mavericks, who were the 10 seed. The Dallas Mavericks beat the number 9 seed Sacramento Kings as part of the play-in, and so with that, the Mavericks got to play the Mavericks get to play the Grizzlies to determine the number 8 seed, and the Grizzlies pulled out the victory over the Mavericks. And so Grizzlies get to play the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it was not pretty. I believe the very first game, the Thunder beat the Grizzlies by, I want to say, 55 points. Yeah, it was not pretty at all. And yeah, it was a 4-game sweep, 4-0. So Thunder move on. They're gonna play the winner of whoever wins Game 7 between the number 4 seed Denver Nuggets and the 5 seed LA Clippers. That's gone to 7 games, and I think tomorrow is Game 7. So I'm kind of curious who comes out of that. And my guess is the Thunder will beat whoever wins that series. Thunder look really good, actually. Um, now, um, now that the Warriors are up 3-2, and remember the Warriors are number 7 seed, so whoever wins that series is going to play the number 6 seed, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Gotta say, the Wolves pretty much got the hot start, got the big jump on the Lakers. I think they beat the Lakers by 22 in Game 1. Lakers came back, but they only won by might have been like maybe 9 points, maybe. Lakers had a big lead, but Minnesota kind of came back, but Lakers kind of held on and pulled it off. Tied the series 1-1, but Game 3, Lakers and Wolves are pretty much toe-to-toe until late fourth quarter, where the Minnesota Timberwolves with Ant-Man just pulling through, making sure the Wolves go ahead, take Game 3, won by 12. I think it was like 116-104. In Game 4, Lakers were ahead for the just about 99% of the entire game, Game 4. Unfortunately, the Wolves, I think they won by 3. I think at, what was it? The Wolves were down by 1, but the Wolves came back after the Lakers took a late lead. And it's kind of just, just kept the Lakers from winning that game. I think LeBron took a 3-pointer, or Austin Reeves took a 3-pointer, but they missed right at the buzzer. So Wolves survive and go up 3-1, and going back to LA. I think for the most part, the Wolves were ahead in Game 5 back in LA, but Lakers were fighting back, made it a close game. I think they were really close late fourth quarter, but the Wolves, with that killer instinct, Ant-Man, Gobert, even Julius Randle, and what's his name? McDaniels, Jalen McDaniels, I think his name is. They finished off the Lakers, beat them 103-96. Wolves win the series 4-1. So Wolves get to play the winner of Warriors and Rockets, and Lakers have to think of what's going to happen next. JJ Redick might still be the coach, but the Lakers now have to figure out some contracts. I was looking at it, and if LeBron James was to opt in for 2025-2026 season, he will get paid $52 million per year, and that will be his last year of the contract. The thing is, it's a player option, so technically LeBron has to opt in by June 29th. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna opt in. It'll be his last go around. Luka will be paid $45 million for the 2025-2026 season. So from the looks of it right now, as it stands, I believe that the salary cap for next season, 2025-2026, is going to be $184 million, I think. Um, and I think the Lakers are going to be at 187 if I guess Luca and LeBron keep their contracts, and Rui and Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves is getting paid like 13 million or something. So Rui is about the same, 15 million or so. Um, but I mean, so the starting five for the Lakers, as it stands, you're looking at LeBron, you're looking at Luca, you got Rui, you got Austin Reeves, and the fifth starter. I mean, you could go with Vanderbilt. You could go with supposedly Dalton. I mean, he's a great shooter. He could probably come into his own. Um, I mean, technically, you do have Jackson Hayes on the team, but I don't know if he's going to stay on the team actually. So the Lakers might be looking for a fifth starter. Could be looking for a big man. Um, quite possibly look into the Mark Williams situation again, because technically he was supposed to be on the Lakers, but he failed his physical with the Lakers, and so the trade to send Dalton Connect to the Hornets and um, some other draft picks and maybe one other player for Mark Williams. But yeah, so the Lakers have some contract moving to do, some wheeling and dealing, work out the payroll for all that. So, but look forward to the Lakers contending again for 2026 and compete with the best of them. But I think there's going to be a big change probably happening. And so here's the thing though, LeBron has a no trade clause. So if he opts in, so yeah, he gets 52 million for 2026. But if he doesn't opt in for some strange reason, he is eligible to get what I saw was a 3-year, $175 million contract, and he could be with the Lakers or he could be with any team if he opts out for some strange reason. So we'll see with that. And Luca, he is eligible to get a 4-year, $229 million contract as part of his next contract that he's eligible for. If he signs an extension or restructures his contract to that particular 4-year, $229 million. Otherwise, Luca gets to keep his $45 million salary for 2026. So I am curious to what the Lakers are going to do, because some moving parts you can work with. I mean, even after 2026, there's only like 6 to 8 contracts on the books for 2027, 2026, 2026, 2020, yeah, 2026, 2027. So we'll see, and quite possibly you could see names floating around like Trae Young or Giannis Antetokounmpo. I tried. Okay, so we'll see. On the other side, well, um, the number one seed Cleveland Cavaliers, they swept the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat were the first ever 10 seed to make it through the play-in tournament and be in the NBA playoffs. But as you would expect, the Cavs destroyed the Miami Heat. And I think the Cavs beat the Heat by a total of 122 points, give or take. I mean, on average, if you were to beat a team by, let's say, 10 points, you should be averaging 40 points in a 4-game sweep loss. It just turns out that this 4-game sweep was about 122 points. And I think there was a 55-point blowout somewhere in there, or a 50-point blowout, 52 points, maybe, give or take. It was more than 50 points for the closeout. So that was a complete domination. So both number 1 seeds did pretty well against their number 8 counterpart, given that the Heat were actually number 10. But yeah. And then the Cavs are gonna place. They're gonna compete with the number 4 seed Indiana Pacers, who beat the Milwaukee Bucks 4-1. I kind of had that big feeling too. So, and then the New York Knicks, they just closed out their 6-game series with the Detroit Pistons, 4-2. They're going to face the number 2 seed Boston Celtics, who beat the Orlando Magic 4-1. I think what happened with that was Orlando beat the Hawks. And yeah, Orlando beat the Hawks, and then the Hawks lost to the Heat, who beat the Bulls. So yeah. I gotta say, Cavs will probably go 7 games with the Pacers. I think the Pacers could probably put up a fight, but Cavs will probably beat them. And then Celtics will beat the Knicks. I want to say probably 5 games. Yeah. So I'm picking Thunder. I'm picking I do feel that the Warriors will probably beat the Rockets, so it's going to end up becoming Warriors and Clippers in the semifinals. But I do have I have the Thunder beating the Clippers, and I had before Lakers beating the Rockets. But now that I look at it, I think the Wolves could beat the Warriors. So you could be looking at Thunder and Wolves in the Western Conference Finals, and in the East, you're looking at Celtics and Cavaliers. Honestly, like, if the Lakers, I had picked to win the NBA championship, but now that I look at it, I'm picking the Thunder to beat the Cavaliers now. So that's basically my that's my pick. Thunder over Cavaliers now. If it's not Lakers over Cavaliers. So yeah. Sadly, NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs for the LA Kings have ended. They actually were ahead 2-0 on the Edmonton Oilers. Unfortunately, the LA Kings had won pretty big, actually. It was like 6-5, 6-2. Yeah, 6-2 and then 6-5, something like that. Games 1 and 2. Then game 3 came around, and the Kings were actually ahead 4-3 in the third period in Edmonton. But the Edmonton Oilers could not face the fact they wanted to go down 3-0, so they ended up coming back, scoring like 4 goals in the third period, and beat the Kings 7-4. Then game 4 came around, Kings and Oilers. I think the Kings were up 3-1 in the third period, and Edmonton forced the game into overtime, 3-3. And of course, with the momentum shifting like that, Edmonton Oilers won in overtime, even the series 2-2. They go back to LA for game 5. It was 1-1 in the third period, and Edmonton wins, and I think they won 3-1. That sucks. Now Edmonton is up 3-2, and then last night, Edmonton Oilers finished the deal, and they beat the LA Kings 6-4 to close out the series, win the series 4-2, and it appears that the Edmonton Oilers will now face the Golden Knights of Vegas. That's going to be a very competitive series. I want the Kings to be there, but unfortunately, they can't get past these Kings. The Kings can't get past the Golden Knights, and they can't get past the Oilers in like what seems like the last 4 or 5 years now. So, pretty tough. The Stanley Cup playoffs are really tough. It's probably the hardest playoffs because it's the most intense out of all the playoffs, I gotta say. And you get to win a series 4 games. 4 times you have to win in a best of 7 of a hockey series. That is so hard to do. So, anywho, with that being the case, the other series, I believe it's Stars and Avalanche are tied 3 games apiece. Game 7 is tomorrow, I think. And then I think Blues and Jets are Game 7 as well. Tied 3 apiece. That's pretty intense. On the other side, I believe the Maple Leafs beat the Senators 4-2. Panthers beat the Lightning 4-1. The Capitals, I think they beat the Canadians. I think it was 4-1. And then I think the Hurricanes beat the Devils 4-1 as well. That might be the case. Anywho, that's the current playoff picture in the NBA and the NHL. Oh yeah, San Diego FC. They've been losing a lot of games actually after their hot start. I think they got destroyed by Charlotte. They got destroyed by Colorado, and they just got blown out by Salt Lake City, Real Salt Lake. So it has not been looking pretty great. I think they lost to Austin too. Maybe. I don't know. So the San Diego FC has cooled off quite a bit. So, oh well. What else? Yeah. And uh, I I did get to try out some new food recently. I did try Pho Nom. I don't know if I said this before. Maybe we'll see. Um, they have this like um, they have like bone in um, bone in steak, and so they have this huge bone, and the meat is on the bone, and it just cuts off so easily. And of course, like, myself, I always like to put in beef balls in my pho. So you got a bone-in steak with beef balls in pho. It's really good. I can see why people like it. Easily 9 out of 10. The spring rolls, it broke apart, but it tasted good. But presentation-wise, that's important to me sometimes. Besides the quality, I would say it was 8 out of 10 because I'm trying to salvage this spring roll, but it's already broken open. Um, and I think there were wings. The wings were marinated. It has like a fish sauce marinade, kind of like what a 40 yen Fun Grill used to have, but they had it at this Pho Nom. So I would say it was about a good 8.5 out of 10. Um, so the decor is really nice inside, but the main thing about it is the bone-in steak. So make sure when you go to Pho Nom, go get that, and they have nice decor inside. So it makes for a great dinner lunch experience. So, but the downside is, I think that is like the only two pho options you have. So there's not a lot, but they emphasize that people love the bone-in steak and the beef balls. So I think you could also do some other meat, other other beef pho types, but not a lot. So, um, but yeah. Um, oh, and by the way, um, just so you know, the parking lot in Convoy, actually every single most parking lots in Convoy, they do have this pay to park thing going. So you have to scan and you pay how much time you want to park there, but they do give you like a complimentary, I think, 60 minutes or 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours. But if you stay past 60 minutes, 90 minutes, or 2 hours, you do have to pay. And I think they patrol that somehow. So um, if you pay for 2 hours, I think you're looking at basically $7. But yeah, better safe to be sorry. But I think if you were gonna take advantage of it, go out to your car after like maybe an hour. If you're still there, start the payment, pay for another hour or two. So not too much, but that's how it works. So when it says complimentary, start with that first and then pay for parking if you're going to stay longer. Um, so oh, I did get to try out this pizza place called Mountain Mike's. The reason why is because my friend Chelsea Rae, she got to perform with her friend Deidre. Um, this mini concert was at the Mountain Mike's in Oceanside on April 11th. Um, they both got to play quite a few songs, and I gotta say, the music they were playing was really nice. Deidre has a great voice. She plays the piano. She did pretty great with that. And Chelsea Rae, she played mostly her guitar, and she has a very like um, loud projected voice when she sings her songs, and she pretty much has like quite a few songs under her arsenal. So um, I want to say that overall this was a great way to see some new music. So can't wait to hear more from them. Um, uh, I gotta say, the pizza that I got, it was called the Everest pizza. So it's kind of like your Supreme, has all the toppings on there, like sausage, pepperoni, olives, green peppers, onions, a lot of toppings on there. So it's pretty awesome. And the crust was really good. I really liked it a lot. So I gotta say, their pizza was 9 out of 10. And they have a large discount on Fridays. So you get $7 off their large pizzas. So I think their large pizzas are going for like $30. So it comes out to 23 bucks with the $7 off. And I think their medium is already like $25. So good deal for a large pizza on a Friday. So you'll probably see me at Mountain Mike's Pizza, Oceanside, more often on Fridays if I were to get those deals. So, but yeah, the music from Deidre overall, I want to say 8.8 out of 10. The music from Chelsea Rae, loved it. I want to say she was an 8.7 out of 10. So I enjoyed it. And I brought my nephew, Isaac. And I got to see Hollywood Jamie. Cool seeing him. And there's such a cute puppy in front of me. Although Hollywood Jamie did spill some beer um, in the dog bed of the puppy. That was unfortunate. Um, uh, I did get to go see a comedy show um, out at the Yellowdoor on April 17th. It's run by Ryan Archuleta. Um, so it started off with Sean Bow. Whew. It's been a while since I've seen someone bomb, but to have a crowd go completely silent for like 10, 12 minutes, that's not good. Although he had one thing that people laughed at. I think it had to deal with probably drugs. Mention of weed. That's probably the only thing. Other than that, nothing else outside of that. Nobody laughed at anything other than that one thing. So it's kind of it's been a while since I hear a very quiet room for a comedy. So it's technically not the best way to start a comedy show, but technically it is a cold open. So I want to say Sean Bow was a 5 out of 10. That might have been the lowest I've ever given anybody, actually. Um, Next person to go up was Ellie Reckler. Ellie Rickler. Guy had a few old jokes, but he has some new ones. Um, I think he talked about some dating. He talked about his mom, I think, and crowd was laughing a lot during his set. So I want to say he was an 8.6 out of 10. Next person up was Blaze Stricoli. Funny guy. He does talk about his appearance. I like that he owned up to that. And I think he has some sort of like, what do you call it, existential thinking as part of his set. So kind of he wants you to think about some things. Uh, but yeah, I want to say he got some good laughs for his set. 8.3 out of 10. Next up, we have my good friend Aaron Monte. He talks about being a teacher, talks about dating, sports, Zoom calls. But yeah, he got people laughing throughout his whole set and everything, so he did really well. I want to say Aaron Monte was 8.9 out of 10. Um, Honestly, a lot of comedy producers should probably keep Aaron Monte in their lineups because he's guaranteed to make everybody laugh. So, next person, I think it's the first time I've seen this guy, Dante Gonzalez, which is kind of weird because when you look at the name Dante Gonzalez, he does not look like the name actually. uh, I think he said that he was mixed race, so he's part white, part Mexican.